Okay, it's Mikito here, and today I'll be reviewing for the Massachusetts Go Association F League, or MGF League, F League. I'll be reviewing Ivanblizzi's game versus HES, HES. So let's take a look at this game. This game already I can say is bananas. It's really cuckoo and unorthodox. I like it because, you know, it's Milan's brother, if you guys don't know. So Ivan here. So it's just fun stuff. But let's take a look. So everything is pretty much normal here, and then it goes off the rails. A is so unorthodox. I can see what it does. It builds a wall here, giving influence this way, and like limits this side here. But it's unorthodox because it's not focusing on the corners or the sides per se. It's more running towards the middle. And in opening theory, we usually want to focus on the corners and sides first. So you'll see most professional players like play something here, and then the older stuff would be like this, right? You'd focus on the corner and then the side, or even this one, which is like the full side, which is pretty interesting. But this is kind of really old-fashioned, and like there's so many ways to break this up. So anyway, so this was weird. I'm not gonna say it's terrible. I'll say it's fine, but it's just very unorthodox and kind of fun to watch, I guess. So we'll move on. Move 8. Now this, to me, I don't like a lot, and the reason is because you're focusing on one side of the board. So if we look, this is what white's trying to get, and then if we look, this is what black's trying to get. So the idea is which one's bigger, right? Like, it's very clear that black is getting more, and that's because you're focusing on one side of the board. So it looks like I put out some of these C and B, and there was probably an A over here, but I messed it up. So like I said, we'll do this and this and this. These would be much more common for white to play, and the reason is because it breaks up black's big area, so black can't make a big moyo or big potential. I might even consider just playing this right now, because if black plays this way, you can get a two-space base. If black plays this way, or this move, you get two-space base, and this is getting really hurt. So so black can't make a lot of points here. So that's why I like this move. This move is very similar. It does lead to black getting nice pincers though, which I don't like on white. If you want to go AI style, they might tell you this and this, and then this is nice because it builds up this, so it makes it a three-dimensional space instead of a flat space. This is very flat. So it's giving Ivan a big lead right from the start. This this is this is once again very unorthodox. The reason is because it's on the 5th line. So if we look here, 1 2 3 4 5, it's 5 spaces up. That's very important to know. The first line is the ground, the second line is nicknamed the loser line, third line is for making territory, the fourth line is for making influence and power, and the 5th line doesn't even have a name. But the idea is the 5th line focuses on the center more of that influence, which doesn't provide you with a good base or good points, and that's what the opening's all about. The opening is about making fence posts to make big areas for points, and it's for making strong groups so that you can fight from them. This does neither, so it's breaking that open theory, but you know, it's Ivan, so he's gonna have his fun. Let's see. Claim territory and fight for him. Now, admittedly, so you know, I never met Ivan, but I have seen his games before, and I know Milan very well, so I find it comical how he plays. He just plays for big Moyo and big influence and fights and fights and fights. And when I met Milan, you know, years and years ago, that's how he used to play. So it brings nostalgia to me, even though I never met Ivan and I have no ill will against him. I just think it's kind of fun. So anyway, we'll move on. So White played here, and this is, I wrote it down, that on the 5th line. Well, I guess I didn't write it down, but essentially the 5th line can be undercut very easy, and so White can make points easy, and so that's why the 5th line to me isn't that good in the beginning, but we'll move on. This is good. And this was really bad. Really, really bad. The reason is because I'm assuming this move is to try and make a few points and to take away Black's space. Black, though, has so much outside. Like, he's able to run away so easily that you don't have to worry too much about taking his base at this moment. Instead, you should be trying to cut him off from the center, so that you can eventually force him to make a base, you know, somewhere. But by playing a move like this, you're not only building potentially a lot more points, but you're hurting this group because it's not giving Black a lot of room to run around, right? Like, this is something you could expect for White, which is really good. White's making thickness and points, and Black is just squabbling in the middle, not making points. So anyway, this move I thought was really bad. It's a very slow move, what you'd call it. It feels slow. I can see you're trying to take Black space and get points, but this move only nets about maybe 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whereas A not only points, you know, might potentially get you more points, but it's doing more than just going for points. It's going for attacking and influence. So this is the right kind of moves you want to try and make, and these are the wrong type of moves you want to kind of avoid. So we'll move on. Move 20. Yes, so this move is very, very bad. And this move, I would say, is even worse. Well, maybe not worse, per se. In fact, the only reason it's okay is because you know that Ivan would block it. Because he wouldn't play here if he didn't care about this area. So maybe I can't say B is worse, but the idea is that when you play on the floor, so this is the loser line, and this is the floor, you're not making a lot of points at all. So, like, compare this move to this move. You're making 10 lines of territory in this area. You know, it's not guaranteed, but you're scouting it out 10 lines of territory. When you play something like this, you're scouting out 2 points of territory. What's more better, 2 points of territory or 10 times 4? Right? Like, it's no contest. So when you the important thing is Sente, direction of play, and slow moves. This is super duper slow, and so what you want to focus on, and both of you guys had this issue I wrote down, is to avoid doing the first lines unless it involves life and death. If somebody was gonna die here, like if this move somehow killed this white group, then it's a good move. But unless it involves life and death, it's too slow for the opening, and both players, or whichever player loses Sente, will fall far, far behind. But instead, in the game, White played another move on the loser line, meaning that he played super slow, and Black can now take a big advantage. But Black didn't. Black played an even slower move on the ground, which was very surprising. It's too slow. I think I wrote worst crime of all, like with these two moves here, because White once again, can break up this area, take a corner, play over here to work with these stones. This one's not as important now because this has somewhat of a base now. But by answering here, it's like the worst crime ever, right? Now black got all these moves and gets the move again out here. And this move is too slow now. White is completely alive, so you don't have to worry about this group living or dying. This group has pretty much one eye. Technically it could get taken away. Right? Technically it can be taken away. So it doesn't have an eye just yet. But this feels so slow. It's only 3 lines of territory. Whereas black just made 3 lines of territory. Plus he's on the 3rd line, which is more guaranteed territory. And white has to make another move just to make this guaranteed. Which he actually plays in the game, which is awful. So let's see. What move did I write this? Okay, yeah. So then you even responded here. So black ended up getting this. So white might have got 9 points here, where black potentially now has over 40. So this was where I found the game shifted so much in Ivan's favor. And it's because of a major flaw of your style, HES or HES, and that is that you focus way too much on small territory. It's a very critical flaw, but it's a very easy one to fix if you study the direction of play. I can send you a video actually that will improve you quite. You know, you'll level up quite a lot if you learn opening theory, and I made a really good video on that. But yeah, this critical flaw is gonna make you lose a lot of games if you play this way. And that way is, like I said, if we look here, we can look all the way back to even this move right at D here. D is focused on one side of the board. You're not making a lot of points, but you're focusing heavily on making those points. So you're moving slowly and not getting enough. This move, extremely slow, focusing again on points. It's solidifying your area, but it's not enough. You need to take more. All these moves have that problem of being slow and not taking a lot of points. This being the worst, I would say. And yeah, so like this move, super slow. Like now you really have to try and break up this area, right? And this move being really slow because it's only focusing on 9 points when, like I said, this is the area. And then once black gets here, like it's pretty much game over. It's almost like you're playing a handicap game right now where you gave black like, I don't know, 4 to 6 stones of handicap. And this one's really slow too. Alright, so yeah, I think I stopped here because I found such a critical flaw you can work on that you can, if you just take time to learn direction of play and opening theory, you'll level up significantly, both of you. So I stopped like making comments here because I found such a flaw. But anyway, we'll move on. We'll just look very quickly through the game. You can see that because black has stones all over the place, black is going to continue to make major points everywhere, and white's going to have a super hard time struggling to live anywhere in this area. So black has just this ultimate power and influence. And by the end of the game, I'm pretty sure black kills a bunch of things, and you know, white has to give up. I'm gonna, yeah. So it ends here. Like black just has way too much. This looks dead. It is dead, right? No, maybe it's not. Let me see. It should have died. But now it looks alive. Right? Yeah, it's alive now. So that means that these died. Huh, interesting. But still, black has, you know, too many points even with this dying. But if we go back, I'm just really curious. Like, black just had to play here, and now everything's, you know, gravy, right? Like, everything's Gucci. So very interesting that black didn't get these. But, yeah, regardless, this major flaw is what the whole game centered on. So, I hope this helps. I'll gladly send you a link to Opening Theory. Just hit me up on Discord, and I'll send it to you. And, yeah. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.